Hi, boys and girls, and welcome to today's Read Aloud. This week we'll be focusing on fiction books, and fiction books, as we know, are stories that are written for you to read and read for enjoyment. So you aren't necessarily learning facts from them like we were last week and the week before when we were reading informative or nonfiction books. These are ones that we might read for enjoyment. And these are stories that we do have to read in order. We have to read the book from start to finish in order to make sense of them. Something else you'll notice about fiction stories, and something else I'm hoping you'll take note of and help you for writing, is that all fiction stories have the same kinds of parts. They have a character, they have a setting, they have a beginning, middle, and end, they have a problem and a solution. So let's take a look at the story I picked out for us today. It's called Hippo's Toothache. It's written by Cheryl Ryan and illustrated by Nora Vudas. Oh no, Hippo's toothache. I know those could be painful. Let's read. Ooh, I wasn't expecting that, were you? Let's read. Harry Hippo awoke early one morning. Ow! He moaned. I have a horrible, terrible toothache. Harry moaned and groaned. He moaned and groaned so loudly he woke up everyone. What is wrong? They asked. Why is Harry moaning and groaning so loudly? Harry has a toothache, said his wife Harriet. What shall we do? Asked Polly the parrot. We will have to pull out the tooth, said Harriet. But who will pull it out? Asked Polly. I will, said Millie the gorilla. But how will you pull it out? Asked Ziggy the lion. Millie went off to find a vine. She tied the vine to Harry's tooth and pulled on the vine. She pulled and pulled, but the tooth did not come out. Let me help, said Ziggy. So Ziggy and Millie pulled, but the tooth did not come out. What will we do now? Asked Polly. I have an idea, said Millie. They took Harry to a cliff and tied the vine to a big rock. Oh no. Do you know what they're going to do? They pushed the rock over the cliff, but Harry's tooth did not come out. Now what? Asked Ziggy. I have a better idea, said Polly, and off she flew. Harry moaned and groaned even louder. Poor Harry. Later, Polly came back with Ella the elephant. Ella will help us pull Harry's tooth, said Polly. They tied the vine to Ella. She pulled and pulled, but still the tooth did not come out. Then out of the jungle crept a mouse. Ella saw the mouse and took off running very fast. Out came Harry's tooth. Harry stopped moaning and groaning, and once again the jungle was quiet. Everyone was happy, especially Harry. So if we're thinking about fiction stories, let's talk about the parts of a fiction story. Did this story have characters? It certainly did. Who were the characters in this story? We had Harry the hippo, who woke up with a terrible toothache, and he wakes everyone up. We know Harry's wife is Harriet. We have Polly the parrot, Millie the gorilla, Ziggy the lion, then we have Ella the elephant, and a tiny, tiny mouse. Those were the characters. And where does this take place? Thinking near the jungle, right? It's kind of near a big jungle. What was the problem in the story? We actually learned the problem very early on. That Harry wakes up with what? What hurts him? His tooth, and he needs to have it pulled. But he needs to find someone to help pull it. And how do they solve that problem? They try some different things, and do they work? They don't. But in the end, Ella the elephant sees the mouse and starts running from the mouse, and as Ella's running, his tooth falls out. You're right. That was a cute story. When you go off to do your quiet reading today, be sure to practice a retell to someone nearby you. Remember, a retell, you talk about the characters, the setting, what was the problem, talk about the events in the story, what happens in the beginning, middle, and end, and how did the problem get fixed. That's a 5-finger retell. Off you go, readers.